Hello and welcome to Atfa Tech Venture Podcast. I'm Janvi Grival, your host, and today we have Shehab, Senior Product Manager at Mr. Soul. Shehab brings an extensive product management experience. So, in this episode, we will explore Shehab's journey, his strategies for product discovery, and insight from his upcoming book, Product Insight. So, join us in welcoming Shehab to Atfa Tech Venture Podcast. So, Shehab, I would just like to introduce yourself.
Thanks for having me. Currently, I'm the founder of VisionX, the first personal branding studio for product leaders in the world. I'm also a senior product manager with Marsul. I'm leading now the M4B Marsul for Business Squad, where I'm introducing new initiatives and working towards increasing the revenue of Marsul from the merchant side. Prior to Marsul, I was actually a product manager with the first B2B marketplace for confectionery in the MENA region called Kawafel. I led the development of Kawafel Vendor Premium Platform, which was the first SaaS platform in Kawafel suite. Prior to Kawafel, I was also a product manager with Taker. It's basically Shopify for restaurants. And I led the introduction for Taker marketing services, and basically help around 10K restaurants in Saudi Arabia market their meals better and basically increase their revenue.
Yeah, that's really very good to know about you and your journey. Okay, before we dive into the actual podcast, I would just introduce the host of today. This episode is proudly brought to you by Atfa Tech Venture, a pioneer technology solution provider dedicated to innovation and efficiency. With a main focus on IT solution, IT resources, recruitment, and tech audio podcast, we have a partnership with over 50 plus tech giants like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, Pega, OutSystems, APN, Salesforce, Cloudera, Informatica, and many more. We specialize in services like ERP, app development, data and AI, MLA, blockchain, cloud managed services, UX, UI testing, and cybersecurity. We have a huge team of 20,000 plus experts in various fields who can work either on-site and offshore and can be deployed within 24 hours. We are also big on hearing from tech leaders, so that's the reason we have you here today. Yeah. So can we dive into the Q&A?
Let's go for it.
Okay. So Shah, you have just shared a little bit about your journey. I just want to elaborate, like how did your journey started from academia to becoming a senior product manager?
That's a good question. So I started as a software engineer back in the days of Malaysia, where I graduated. I was doing a bachelor's in software engineering. I was also being a part-time software engineer remotely with a bunch of companies. So I always wanted to be a product manager because the business side fascinated me. And I thought that software engineering is kind of boring. I don't want to do it forever. I don't want to sit in front of my BC coding from 9 to 6. So what I wanted to do is basically I wanted to get myself within the business side of things. So I started with working with a bunch of labs, design labs in Malaysia. I did some sort of like UX research. I did research on AI. I did research on machine learning. Again, I had the goal of being a product manager, but I thought to myself, why not try every function before jumping into product management? So I did a bit of UX and UI design with a bunch of companies as a freelancer, also as an intern. I did product analysis and business analysis with some small startups in Malaysia as an intern. I also did it as a part-time employee, when I was doing my degree. And then basically I thought to myself, all right, since I have now the full context and I know about almost every function in tech, it's time for me to jump into product management. So I kind of like prepared a comprehensive CV. At that time, it was like 5 years or 6 years ago. And I said to myself, it's time for me to be a product leader. It's time for me to build real products as a product manager or as an orchestra conductor. So I applied to a bunch of companies and I got in the basically Saudi market as a product manager with Taker. And the rest is history, actually, So starting from them, I started evangelizing for the product role. It wasn't me just doing product management from 9 to 5. It was me like doing product management as a consultant. I also wrote about product managers, and I got around 15K readers a month. I started also writing for LogRocket, one of the biggest product analytics tools in the world. And I also started mentoring a bunch of like aspiring BMs through Career Foundry and Udacity. I also taught product management with Olu and with a bunch of like other bootcamp providers, and that got me to actually advance my role to be a consultant and specializing in product discovery and product-led growth, because again, as you know, generic product management is something you will be doing in your full-time role, but it's not something that you can consult companies on because again, it's a functional task, So you cannot consult companies on how to build a BRD or how to build like a product management templates, but you need to come and do the actual work. And the actual work is done through product-led growth. If you cannot basically advocate for product management through selling the companies that, hey guys, you can grow your revenue and you can grow your metrics through your product and not your sales team, then you're pretty much consulting them on nothing, So that's why I specialize in helping the companies discover the right problems and building the right solutions through product discovery, which is basically an umbrella for problem discovery as well as solution discovery. And then lastly, translating everything into a comprehensive product-led strategy where they can grow their matrix through their product and not through doubling their sales team. So that's pretty much all about me.
Shihab, you really have a very fascinating journey and you do have a wide, uh, diverse experience in different roles as well. Thank you for letting us know about you. So this makes me curious to know what inspired you to find VisionX and how did it complement your role at Mosul?
Lovely. So the inspiration behind founding VisionX came from my observation of the challenges product leaders face in establishing a strong personal brand. Personally, I worked with tons of product leaders, tons of product managers, and they all have this sort of similar challenge. Many talented product managers kind of struggle to gain recognition they deserve. This can limit their career growth and opportunities. So I founded VisionX to address this gap. So through VisionX, we provide them with tailored personal branding services to help them basically achieve their goals. The thing about VisionX is we are not just offering them sort of like advice, like consultant. No, we do the actual work for them, So instead of telling them, hey guys, you need to double down on your content, or hey, you need to appear in podcasts, or maybe, hey, you need to go and network with conferences or network with professionals in seminars or workshops. No, we do the actual work for them. We help them write content on LinkedIn. We book them to podcasts. And we help them basically, or we recommend them actual conferences and book them slots there, and we help them basically prepare their talks, prepare basically how they can approach other professionals. So it's more of like a product studio that can help them achieve their goal by managing their brand end to end from A to Z. Now, the skills I gained personally from VisionX do actually inform and enhance my work at Marceau. This is creating some sort of like symbiotic relationship between these two roles. Why? Because I get to work with talented product leaders. I get to learn from their stories. I get to learn from their experiences, while actually helping them with my team of product influencers as well as personal branding experts create world-class personal brands. So that's pretty much all about why I founded VisionX and why I believe that VisionX is the next big thing in the world of product management, specifically talking about pushing more talented product leaders to appear and be market leaders in the market.
Okay, that's really a very great idea and you implemented it very well. So do you just go on the platform and help them or do you just consult them to do these things?
No, we actually again help them to do everything. We don't do consultation. Basically, we offer the consultancy for free. If they just want to have an advice, they can right away book a call with me or with one of my team through our website, and they can get the advice for free. But VisionX is all about execution. We don't believe in words; we believe in actions. So you contract VisionX, and VisionX will be doing everything for you. Starting from helping you produce videos on LinkedIn, all the way to writing on LinkedIn, as well as creating cases, showcase your stories in a better way, as well as like booking you to podcasts, creating a portfolio for you, creating product cases for you. It's every single component a product leader need to basically excel and appear in the market in the better picture possible.
Hey, it's really nice. And I just love the statement that you have given. Execution is all we believe in.
That's correct.
Okay, so can you just give me an insight about some common challenges you see in the product-led strategies and how do you address them?
So, as a product-led growth or product-led consultant, I face a lot of challenges. Some of these challenges, especially here in the MENA, include basically, and it's, to be honest with you, the biggest difficulties I face, and it's shifting the organizational mindset from traditional methods to the product-led approach. Often what I see is product and design teams resist the change to the comfort of the status quo, or the fear of the unknown. So you come with them basically showing them like a fancy strategy, like a fancy framework. Hey guys, we need to adopt this because of X, Y, and Z. But then they resist this change. So I figured that to address this, I focus mainly on creating a strong narrative around the benefit of product-led strategy. I try to emphasize on how it leads to better UX, high retention rates, lower burn, specifically if I'm talking with founders and long-term growth. I try to also advocate for small and incremental changes to demonstrate the quick wins, which can help build more confidence and buy-in from the teams and specifically from the leadership and executives. Now, the thing here is I worked with a bunch of consultants, here in the MENA and in other regions, and I found that what they do is when they consult startups, they come with a fancy strategy. And that fancy strategy is end up not being implemented. Why? Because it's super big. Now, when we are talking about small and incremental changes, you can build more confidence and you can show them the actual results. However, a consultant need to make sure that, hey, what I'm showing you is something I can build for you. That's why I come up always with action recommendations for my clients, recommendations that I can execute for them. I'm not waiting for any sort of intervention from the engineers and etc. Now, the second issue is basically, again, specifically here in the MENA region, many companies are deeply invested in the sales-led processes, where success is actually measured by their sales team performance and their revenue targets. So, for example, let's talk about a B2B company here in the MENA, they hire a very big account management and sales team, and then they wait them to reach their monthly targets. Now, that's a big thing that I'm facing as a consultant. I get hired to transform the company to be a product-led company, and then I end up seeing or working with 30 to 40 gurus or account managers from their sales team. Now, to transition towards a product-led approach, what I typically do is I recommend integrating product and sales team to kind of ensure more and smooth, or actually to ensure a sort of, I would say, seamless transition. And this is happening by aligning the product features with the sales strategies. For example, I don't get the sales team to do the acquisition anymore. What I get them to do is they onboard the customer. So the customer gets onboarded to the product, and then they can book a call with the sales team to actually get any sort of onboarding needed. This has proven that it decreases the cost of sales, by the way. So what I try to do by accomplishing this is I try to ensure that the product itself becomes a sort of like key driver of customer acquisition and retention. This has also demonstrated for the companies I work with how a product-led approach can complement and enhance sales effort, without saying that, hey guys, if you want to go with the product-led approach, then you need to eliminate the role of sales.
Okay, so Shihab, I just love the details that you have given on the challenges and how do you overcome them. Okay, so how do you stay updated with the latest trends and technologies in product management?
So that's a great question. Staying updated with the latest trends, specifically in product management, requires a proactive approach, I would say. So what I do is I regularly attend industry conferences from Product Tank, for example, webinars from places like Reforge, and workshops to just learn from experts and peers. I heavily invest in my education. I basically spend around 10% or 15% of my monthly earning to just educate myself and get myself ahead of the competition. Um, I also read books, research papers, articles from reputable sources, and believe it or not, as someone who wrote tons of research papers back in the days of my university, I still read research papers. I don't see academia useless. I see it as an invaluable place to get some sort of education. So that's why I read a lot of research papers on a monthly basis. I also participate in online communities, forums where product managers share their insights and experiences. I also try to network with other professionals and seeking mentorship from industry leaders, and I do that specifically from, I guess, AWS platform. I go and talk with BMs from major companies like Google, Facebook. I book them for 30-minute free call, and then I just talk about product management in general, what kind of advices they have for me. Um, and that's pretty much how I stay informed about emerging trends and the best practices here in product management.
Okay. You just gave me the thought back in my mind, like basics are the core. You need to invest in your education if you want to grow ahead in life.
That's definitely correct.
Okay. So, Shilp, how do you approach product discovery to ensure startups can build and scale elite products successfully?
This question specifically is close to my heart. So, my approach to product discovery involves a combination of thorough market research, user feedback, and obviously iterative testing. So, what I do basically is I begin by identifying the core problem that the product aims to solve, because again, every startup that I work with or every venture that I consult have a core problem that they need to solve. All right. So what I do is I try to understand the target audience, the best communication channel with these target audience, and then I try to conduct surveys, interviews, and user testing sessions with them. Once I have a sort of clear understanding of the overall problem, the user context, the organizational context, as well as the product context, I try to develop an MVP. But again, going back to my point, my work is always independent from other teams. So what I do is I try to develop an MVP to test my assumptions and gather feedback. However, ideally, and that's what I typically do, is I create the MVP myself using low-code tools. So I require no intervention from the engineers. I require no intervention from the designers. I ensure that I'm delivering basically independent work as a consultant. Now I go out to the market, I test the MVP myself. Yeah, here I require sometimes some help, to push this MVP to the customers, be it like through sending push notifications or sending some sort of like marketing alert campaign, to get the users to test this MVP. Then once I have the real data from my MVP, I come up with actionable recommendations from my clients. And I don't just end it with recommendations. I share with them detailed insights about the market. And believe it or not, some of these startups, again, specifically here in the MENA, they don't believe in the power of insights. They just turn their teams into feature factory. So what I do as a consultant is I try to share as much of insights as possible to help them streamline their decision making and their work in the future. And then I end it with actionable recommendations based on the problem and based on the data I gathered from the MVP. So that's the end-to-end discovery I do as a consultant.
Okay, Shia. Really very nice. And in detail, you have shared the full process. What do you do? And I just love the fact that you do it on your own. You need no intervention of anyone while you're doing so.
Yeah,
So it gets
that's my main value proposition. That's my unique selling point as a consultant.
and it even gives the factor of personalization to the person you are consulting or the company you are consulting.
That's correct.
Okay, so Shia, can you just give me a sneak peek about the upcoming book, Product Design, and what readers can expect to learn from it?
Sure. So, Productized is a comprehensive guide on leveraging personal branding strategies to enhance the influence in the product management field. Um, so, the readers, specifically the product leaders and product managers, will be exposed to a framework that I called Productized, which basically allow the readers to apply the product management concepts and skills to build their brands, you know? So you can think of it in a way that you treat your personal brand as a product and you apply the learnings of product management to build your brand. So readers can also expect to learn practical tips and techniques for building their strong brand, and that typically include stuff like how to identify and communicate your unique value proposition, how can you create engaging content, how can you build a powerful professional network to serve your goals, and how can you basically identify one goal that you build your personal brand around. For example, my goal now is to consult startups and to build products in the MENA, you know, that's how I'm actually building my personal brand around. So that's the goal of Productize. It's just a framework to help them build world-class personal brands. You know, it's pretty much the same as the knowledge I'm applying now with my team in VisionX and how we are helping product leaders build their brands. You know, just the difference between VisionX and Productize is that Productize is just a framework. However, VisionX is applying this framework and executing it for you. You know, to eliminate to you the cost of time that you'll be putting to build your brand. Now, lastly, the book will also feature case studies and insights from top product leaders to get you basically some sort of lessons, inspirations for you if you're looking to elevate your career in product management.
Okay, Shehab, when can we expect the launch of your book?
So, as I shared now in my website, in my What I'm Up to Now page, I'm now in chapter 8. It took me so long because I'm putting a hard thought on this book. So, it's not just basically text and research, but I'm expecting to launch this book by the end of this year.
Okay, thank you for letting me know that. So even I and the audience can get hands on it. So Shia, with
Yeah.
that, we are done with the Q&A session. Do you want to say something to our audience?
So, for our audience, I would say stay curious, guys. Make sure to network heavily. Your network is your net worth. And that's something I tested personally. And with that being said, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Shia, for joining us today. And it was great having you. Your experience and expertise were something that we appreciate a lot. Okay, so thank you to our wonderful audience as well for tuning in. We hope you had a great time diving into the world of product development with us.